even more. I just made these numbers up, but it sounds right.
We're giving you the keys. We're opening your eyes.
Open the third eye.
What is wrong with us?
Networking or creating community, or, you know, welcome back to the Getting It Wrong podcast, where we share what people get wrong, because getting it wrong is the first step to getting it right.
Come on.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Morgan.
And we're going to get into our episode. We're going to start off with the episode recap. What were we talking about last episode?
Last episode, we talked about fasting, how it relates to your cycle. And yeah, I actually feel like I did a little fasting since then.
Ooh, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so my daughter, her dad is Muslim. She wanted to fast with him for Ramadan. And since she was with me that week, I wasn't gonna have my baby fasting, and I'm not fasting. That's weird. So of course we did it together. And yeah, I would say I feel like it was a good way for me, at least, to get back on track to taking care of myself. Of course, like spiritually, I feel like I was able to be more in tune spiritually because of the fasting. But then also, I think it was helpful for me to be more disciplined and be more mindful about what I am eating, because after you break your fast, it's really important, like we said last episode, to break your fast with something healthy. And it makes you feel like you are taking care of yourself when you are breaking your fast with something healthier. So those focuses, I feel like were helpful for me overall.
Okay, so our little episode, it got you ready. I don't even want to say our little episode. Let me backtrack. Our episode, our big episode got you ready to fast for Ramadan. I love that.
It did.
For me, I focused a lot on what I was eating when breaking my fast. Because last time I was talking about how I have been fasting and how it's affected me and how fasting can help everyone. I started breaking my fast with protein.
Smart.
Because I get so hungry when I'm fasting. When I get to the end of my fast, I'm looking at the clock like, okay, 2 more minutes. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, 30 seconds. Okay. But when I started breaking my fast with some fats and protein, that just helped me start off my day right. So that's something I'm going to keep doing.
Yeah, I think that's so smart, because it helps with like regulating your blood sugar too. And when fasting, it obviously can get low.
Yes.
And then trying to, if you do something like something sweet or things like that when you're breaking your fast, it can just like spike your blood sugar, which you crash.
And that's exactly. I'm like, that's not what we want.
That's very smart. Yeah, girl.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing. We are going to get into our topic today, which is discipline. So I have a question for you. I think it shows discipline when you fast. So I feel like that ties into what we're talking about today. But Absolutely. What do you think people get wrong when it comes to discipline?
That's a good question. I think one thing people get wrong with discipline is taking it too seriously. Like taking it too seriously, focusing too much on the rules. I think people either do it like they're either on one spectrum or the other, where they're taking it way too seriously. There are no exceptions. You're not giving yourself grace, or they're making excuses, which is the other end of it. And I've been on both ends.
Right? Me too.
I've been on both.
Okay. I can definitely agree with that. I feel like I'm the type of person who takes Well, no, like you said, I've been on both sides. When I
Yeah.
take discipline too seriously, I feel like it's hard to stay consistent.
Yep.
And then also when I'm not taking it seriously, I guess, not doing what I need to do, of course, you don't
Come
stay
on.
consistent that way either. So it's about balance. So I guess we're going to be talking about how we find that balance, some ways that
Hmm.
we can find that balance. And I wanted to start off talking about the book that everyone has been talking about lately, The 12-Week Year. A lot of people were talking about it at the beginning of the year in January, but this is March. This is our new year. Morgan
Come
and I
on.
always talk about how
We do.
spring is our new year. We don't go by the
Exactly.
calendar. When the plants come back to life, that's when we come back to life,
Come
okay?
on. Come on.
So, the 12-week year, I'm not going to give a summary of the book. I'm just going to take a few key points that I learned because you can find
Yeah.
so many videos and podcasts on YouTube doing that. I'm just going to give a few key points, and we're just gonna talk about it and share our personal stories or stories that we've read about or heard.
Yeah. Okay.
So the main point of the 12-week yearbook, uh, what they say that people get wrong when it comes to discipline is annualized thinking. And
Hmm.
annualized thinking is an unspoken belief that there's plenty of time to make something happen, or
Mm-hmm.
it'll improve later on. They just taking a lackadaisical approach, how we talked
Okay.
about before.
Right.
Um, and something that can help with that is taking shorter time frames, creating deadlines to create that push for results, put that
Hmm.
energy towards creating a result. And a way that you do this is called periodization. Instead of taking the annualized approach, you take it period by period.
Okay. So it's
Period.
like shorter goals. That,
Yes.
that okay, that makes so much sense. Okay.
12-week year. Uh, so periodization is focusing on the training regimen that concentrates on one skill for a limited time period. So
Hmm.
basically, like we said, shorter spurts,
Right.
usually about 4 to 6 weeks. For an example, every 12 weeks, you can review your progress and have a weekly breakdown of what you
Hmm.
need to do. And not even just a weekly breakdown, you can take it day by day.
Hmm.
And sharing a personal story, when I was in college, I was a day by day girl.
Come on.
So I feel like it's so much easier to be disciplined when you are in a structured environment. When you have to create your own
Absolutely.
structure, that's when things
Yes.
get a little shaky. And I feel like the
Yes.
12-week year kind of helps you create your own structure when you're not under an institution that helps you create that structure.
That's what it is. Because remember, we were both just saying like how we've been on both spectrums, and I
Mm-hmm.
definitely feel like school was when I was in that very very disciplined structure, or on that very disciplined, no excuses, no mistakes, no grace, like mindset. That side of the spectrum, because I don't know, when you're in school, it's like you have to plan around so much that and then you are, of course, under your parents for so long, and they have their rules, and it
Mm-hmm.
just feels like you just get accustomed to it. And I agree. And I think it gets unhealthy. So I like that we're kind of like setting the tone for making sure it's not too unhealthy. It's not too attainable, like unattainable,
Okay.
you know? Okay, but go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that brings me, I'm thinking back now. In college, I feel like
Hmm.
I was very healthy when it came to my approach to discipline. I
Hmm.
did lean more towards the super structured discipline because I had a goal, I had a long-term vision graduating college. I knew what I
Yeah,
wanted. The college helps you break it down for you. You have your semesters, you know what classes you have to
right.
take in order to reach that goal, and you break it down by semester, then you break it down by classes, and then you have your daily task in order to complete what you need to for each class. Like that, it sets you up for success, really.
Yeah,
All you have to do is follow the structure and
right.
stick to it. Just stick to it. Um, where was I going?
I I feel like you're comparing it to adulthood. That's what it sounds like you're getting at.
Okay.
Kind of.
I'm just gonna keep talking and hopefully it'll loop back in somewhere. That's how it usually
For
happens for me.
real. For real.
So I love how college created basically our college was our 12-week year. I
Yeah.
remember now. I remember now. I had fun times and lots of discipline. So I was very good when it
Okay.
came to setting the tone for my goals and having a lot of fun at the same time. And I feel like college sets you up for that too. If you
Yeah.
think about it, there's always
Yeah.
some social event going on.
Yeah.
In real life, you know what? In order to create a healthy, disciplined life, you should try to get your life to emulate college as much as possible.
Come on.
Create
You
a
better
community.
you better
Create
talk about it. You really, because it does, you definitely have like that social time. Like I did the same thing. I was in school and I tried to make sure my weekends were specifically for social. I would have like one weekend where I was kicking it, and then one weekend where I was like getting like my laundry done, self-care done. So it was so much balance that as an adult, it ain't the same. But
and I don't think it has to be that way though.
I agree.
I feel like the great things about college, you had community. People had shared goals and vision. Everyone's goal was to graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone had a shared goal. Everyone wanted to graduate. Everyone wanted to have fun.
Mhm.
You had community. You had guidance. You had the advisors. You had the
Side
professors.
note.
Side note, yes.
Side note, the what also was like super helpful and what I missed so much was like the walkable, what is it? It's called a walkable
Walkable
community.
community.
Oh my God,
Yes.
everything is in a walking distance. Then you get like healthy exercise. You're not driving all the time. You're going to the convenience
Yes.
store. You're hanging out with your friends. You're going to class. Your work every day is going to class and you walk there. Come on.
So
Healthy living.
healthy living. So I feel like when you read the book, The 12-Week Year, they break everything
Mhm.
down. They make it seem so simple. And the fact is that it is very simple. It's just that the communities that we are living in makes it difficult.
Yeah. Mm. And it's by design. No, I'm not going to get on my
The system,
conspiracy theory.
the system is designed for
Come
us to
on.
fail. Okay.
Yes. Modern day slavery.
Modern day slavery. They want to keep you distracted. They don't want you creating
They
goals.
want to keep you down.
They don't want you creating a 12-week year, okay?
You
If
hear me?
you have the ability to break it down, if you have the ability to give your life structure and break your life down and complete
Mm,
these goals, you are ahead of probably 70% of the population.
come on.
Maybe even more. I
We're
just
giving
made
y'all the
these numbers up,
keys.
but it sounds right.
We're giving you the keys. We're opening your eyes.
Open the
Wake
third
up.
eye.
What is wrong with us? We have a problem.
Open your third eye. No, but seriously, and I think that's something that I've actually been doing subconsciously because I've always wanted to live in a walkable community. That's why I live in an area. It's
Your
not
area
downtown.
is so
My
cute.
oh, thank you.
Because
Thank
when we were
you.
driving up, I was like, oh, this area is cute. Next thing I know, we were pulling up to your house. I was like, oh, that's why
Oh,
you
I
like
thought
it
you said my
here.
hair was cute. You said the where I live is cute.
Where you live is
Okay.
cute, but we
Okay.
need to take a second because the problem was when we got on camera, I forgot that y'all hadn't seen it yet. So I know we do need to stop and address it because I know that's what the people want. Because baby, the hair is doing its thing.
Thank you.
The
You
hair is
guys,
doing its thing. The color,
thank
the
you.
tresses.
It's not as curly as it was. It probably needs to be curled again, but my hair is giving, guys. You need to be watching us on YouTube if you're not
Yes.
already. Getting It Wrong podcast on YouTube. But I have a friend who graduated hair school and she posted that she was, she was offering services. And I've been looking to dye my hair blonde since last year. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing
Come
it.
on, you
And
did
I
it.
trust her. She's amazing. She's so creative. She's so good with color. And I was like, I'm going to take that leap. I'm going to do it. And she did that. I'm
Yeah,
actually
it's
going to link I'm in St. Louis, so if you're not in St. Louis, I don't know. I can't help you. But I'm going to link her Instagram in the description so you guys can take a look. But yes, she dyed my hair blonde. I'm a blonde now.
That is so cute, and it works so well. I like that it's like ombre because I don't know, like when people dye their hair blonde, it's so drastic at first. Like when you
Yeah.
do it, like when you see it on yourself, it can feel so drastic. So the ombre is perfect for like starting out for sure, and it looks so
Yes.
pretty.
I wasn't ready to do like because I think it's called like a balayage or balayage or I don't know. The hair people will know. But
Mm.
I had the option of bringing the blonde in closer to my roots and I was like, I'm scared.
Mm.
I was like, next
I
time
get
I
it.
go to her, I'm probably gonna get it closer, a little bit closer to my roots.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, thank you. Thank you.
So
Let's
cute.
get back to the topic.
I forgot where we were.
Right? Oh, and your hair is kind of similar to mine now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah,
got
you
like
got
an
the
ombre almost. I
yeah.
told myself I was gonna stop dyeing it, like stop bleaching it. So I'm just gonna let it do its thing and grow out.
Okay, we're like
Might cut off the
twins.
blonde at some point, but
Okay.
I like the ombre effect now. For
But
now.
back to what we were talking about. I feel like I've kind of been creating a life that I want to live subconsciously. I shouldn't even say subconsciously. I know that I wanted to live in a walkable community. So I
Mhm.
live in a downtownish area where everything I need is walking distance, like grocery stores, like
Yeah.
coffee shops, food places, like parks, like
Hmm.
what I need is walking distance. And if I want to go to a big park, it's probably like a 7 to 10 minute drive. So
That's what's up.
that because I knew that would make me happy. I don't like driving. Not at all. So I was like, I need to live somewhere where I don't have to drive so much.
Mhm.
But when I think about it, it's kind of hard because the downtown-ish communities and the public schools, it can be
Mhm.
iffy. Um, it's like, okay, mental health,
Mm.
school, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yes, I live in a walkable community because it's definitely something that I know that is beneficial for my mental health. Um, and I want to keep creating the life that I want to live. And it was just a light bulb, not light bulb,
I
light
wasn't gonna
bulb.
catch it.
It's a light bulb moment that creating the community that I had in college
Yeah.
will help set me up for success. The
Yeah.
goal that I want to reach, I need to create a community of people who are aspiring to reach similar goals that I
Okay.
am. Create a community of people, and it doesn't even
Hmm.
all have to be the same community. I can have this community right here for this goal, this community over here for a social
Yeah.
goal, this community over here.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes they can overlap, but
Right.
having that community is beneficial for our mental health and helps us
Yeah.
achieve the goals that we want.
Yeah. Agreed.
So
I
that brings, so I have a question, unless you were going to say something.
mm-mm. Go ahead.
Can you think of an easy way? I want everyone listening to think about this. What ways do you think that you could easily implement that would lead you towards building a life that you want, that could help you achieve your goals, help you create a 12-week year?
What can I implement to help me achieve my goals? Mm, I would say definitely it's harder to achieve goals. It's harder to feel like your goals are attainable if you don't see people that are attaining those goals. So one thing I thought about doing, I haven't done it yet,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is like just consuming like with podcasts, with the things I'm like the people I follow on social media and making sure those are the people that are already living the lifestyle I want to live instead of
Mm-hmm.
other people complaining about not being where they want to be, which is a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times what I end up doing. Cause I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that. And what I don't realize is I'm it keeps you where you're at, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say consuming more of the information and the content of people that are where I want to be.
That's amazing. I'm so serious. It's so simple. And it's something we've
Yeah.
talked about before on
Mhm.
maybe like on previous seasons of our podcast
Mhm.
that control the algorithm
Yep.
because what we consume programs our brain. And if we
Yep.
want a goal, we need to program our brain with the things that help us achieve those goals.
Exactly.
So wow, that was very powerful.
For real?
Yes, it was very powerful because it's something that it's something that seems like common sense, but sometimes you have to remind
Yeah.
yourself because sometimes
Mhm.
you do get in that loop, especially with social media. If you watch one video of something, it's just going to keep giving you the same
Exact.
thing.
You have to catch it. It's
You have to
crazy.
catch it.
Mhm.
You have to catch it. But if I ask myself that question, I think sticking to a routine.
Okay. We back on discipline.
Discipline, yes,
Come on.
discipline. Doing the things that you don't want to do, but you need to do,
Yeah.
that is what takes you to the next level. That's what takes you to the next level because it's easy
Yeah.
to do the things that you want to do when you're feeling great and you've
Mhm.
gotten 10 hours of sleep and
Mhm.
right, you feel refreshed, everything's going great. But even when things aren't at 100%, still doing what you need to do,
Yep.
still pushing through, getting that grit,
Yep.
practicing getting that grit again, because I had it at one point. And I feel like I
Mhm.
still do a little bit. It's just not as strong. But to really
Yes.
flex that muscle of grit will definitely keep me on track to achieve my goals.
You know what it is? I 100% agree with that. It's like you have to get to a point where you're okay with doing the hard things because that's what eventually makes things easier. When you set those things up, eventually it'll make your life easier down the road. So you have to find that motivation to do what's difficult in the moment so it can be easy later. What I noticed is that when I was in that, I think that I had to learn to find balance by going through really like extreme seasons of both.
Mm-hmm.
So like I noticed that I had to go through that season of being extra disciplined to learn how to have that grit. But then afterwards, I had to go through this season of not being disciplined at all so that I could learn to listen to my body when I needed to
Mm.
actually rest. But
Mm-hmm.
when I was in that season, I was resting and resting and resting. I was like, I know what my body needs and resting and resting. But when you come out, you realize like I need some of both. And it helps you learn the balance.
I agree. Balance is necessary.
Mhm.
And there is one more thing that I wanted to add that helps with achieving goals. Just something that came off the top of my head I wanted to share.
Mhm.
Making your goals fun.
Come on.
That is like honestly, that's number one for me. If it's not fun, if my goals don't give me like fun and exciting energy, or I
hmm
don't have anything to celebrate the little goals that I have, then it doesn't really make me want to do them.
Okay. Same.
Yeah.
I I do agree. Like making your goals fun. Even so, like, okay, we were just talking about how like you need to learn to be disciplined, like do the hard stuff even if you don't feel like it. But like that is key though. Like doing the hard stuff, like first off, knowing that it's gonna get easier as you continue to do the right thing. And then also understanding that you could make it fun. Like you can do the hard stuff and make the hard stuff fun. That's key.
Yes. So, for example, because
Okay.
some people are like, you're contradicting yourself. You said do the hard stuff, but then
hmm
have fun. Like, what do you mean? So, for example, let's say you want to start working out, right? You want to make
hmm
that a regular part of your routine. And I think we might have even talked about this on a previous episode as well.
Probably.
Uh, but I mean, if it makes sense, it makes sense.
For real.
So instead of, if you're not the type of person who enjoys lifting heavy weights, just go for a walk. Walk for a
Treat
mile or
yourself to
something.
ice cream every time you lift. No, I'm
No,
just playing.
okay. She's giving terrible advice.
I'm just playing.
Make your workout something that you enjoy, and it'll help you be more disciplined when it comes to achieving that goal.
Okay.
So if you don't enjoy lifting heavy weights, why are you trying to go to the gym 5 days a week? Why not start off walking 5 days a week? So you are more likely to stick to your working out goal to stay disciplined. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, you okay, so make it something you like doing because walking, you get like vitamin D, you know, like I'm saying this because it's personal experience. I have really learned to enjoy walking. Like I walk while I'm working on my treadmill. I got a little treadmill, good investment. It was only like a few $100s. Yeah, it's worth it. And while I'm working from home, I'm walking. And then I just like walking so much. Sometimes I'll get done working and then go on a walk outside. Like, I agree. But you can also pair it with something that like seems really fun, like listening to your favorite podcast. Hint, hint.
Listening to Getting It Wrong podcast while you're out on a walk. Shameless
Hint,
plug.
hint. For real. So no, but for real, listen to your favorite podcast, your favorite YouTuber. You can watch that while you're walking. Yeah. Light your favorite
Audiobook.
candle, audiobook, your favorite song. You know, pair it, make it make sense. Obviously, don't treat yourself to ice cream. I was joking. But don't be counterproductive here.
Exactly.
But yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, make it fun. So we shared some of our personal opinions and experience, but I do want to shift back into the 12-week year a little bit and talk about how to define your goals and what goals to set. So in the book, they say to define your goals, an important thing is to make them specific and measurable. For example, instead of saying, I'm going to exercise, you will say something like, I am going to exercise 5 days a week. Okay, I feel like that wasn't a great example.
No, you're good. I'm
okay.
like just saying I'm gonna start taking care of myself, but then you don't specify exactly how you're gonna do it and plan it out. That's like set the actual goal. Make it specific.
There's actually a science to it that I learned about in Atomic Habits. And give me 1 second so I can pull it up. Because Atomic Habits has an app now called Atoms. And basically it is where it helps you create a habit. And it does that by creating a specific and measurable goal. So one of the habits that I have on my Atom app is exercise. And in order to create my habit, I said, I will exercise every morning for at least 15 minutes at home or outside so that I can become a physically healthy person.
I love that. I didn't know. Okay, I'm gonna have to get the Atom app because I had to put I'm not gonna show y'all because y'all don't need to see my goals, but I basically the first thing I do in the morning is look at my phone. So I did write out my goals and make them specific, but I like as a hack, I was like, I'm gonna put my whole morning mantra, all my goals for each day on my phone so I can see them.
Yes, and the app sends you a notification at whatever time you want it to send you the notification to help you stay on track for this goal.
I need that.
Yes, we can put the link to the Atom app in the description, but it's amazing. Have I done it every single day? No. But but it still helps keep me on track. There are days that I wouldn't even be thinking about it if I didn't see the notification on the phone. And not only does it keep the goal specific and measurable, it also helps you talk about it in a positive way and who you're going to become.
I like
So I
that.
can become a physically healthy person. It's like your why. Your why is important when it comes to
Yep.
creating a habit.
Yep. Absolutely. I
So,
agree.
yes, defining your goals by making them specific, measurable, stating them positively. Make sure that it's a realistic stretch because we don't want goals that don't require us to grow. But we
Hmm.
also don't want to create goals that are seem so far-fetched that it's hard to even think about where to get started, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
So try to make it a realistic stretch, especially when it comes to the 12-week year. So you can have a far out goal, but these 12-week stretches makes that goal realistic.
Yeah.
And assigning accountability is a important part of
Yeah.
achieving that goal. It can be accountability like talking with a friend, like you have a friend that can help you be accountable.
Hmm.
Or I guess when it comes to exercise, a lot of people get like personal trainers to help them be accountable or
Yeah.
something like that.
Or workout
Um,
partner, like you said, a friend.
yes,
That's
friend,
smart.
workout partner, or if it's a bigger goal, let's say like, oh, excuse me, a bigger goal, like with a podcast, if you have a team, I mean, right now it's just us, but if we were to have a bigger team, like
Yeah.
we'd have to assign accountability like to each person to make sure to make sure that we're getting things done that need to be done and
I
achieving
can't
our
wait to
goals.
delegate. Mm.
Right, right, okay, project manager. Um, and then also be time bound. So we need to have deadlines to help stimulate the progress to ensure that the goals are
Yeah.
completed.
Hmm.
So these are how to define your goals, but it's important to have long-term aspirations. So that's when I talked about the larger goal. It could be
Hmm.
like the next 5, 10, 15 years. But then have your midterm goals. It could be like your spouse, your family, your health, like,
Yeah.
exercise, your spiritual, social,
Hmm.
emotional, lifestyle. But then also short-term goals. And the short term is the 12 weeks. The
Okay.
12 weeks, it's what do you want to get done by the end of the 12 weeks?
Mm.
That's the short-term vision. And the
Okay.
short-term goals help you achieve the long-term aspirations basically, but
Yeah.
basically you need to have the vision, and basically it's like reverse engineering. It's like
Yeah.
having the vision and breaking it down
Yes.
into that 12 weeks to help you reach
Yes.
that larger vision.
That no, that makes perfect sense. And again, it kind of goes circles back to school because those
Uh-huh.
12 weeks is kind of like each quarter you have in school, which breaks, which starts off as a quarter, then that comes becomes a semester, which becomes a school year. It's the same
Yes,
thing.
exactly. The long-term vision, the long-term aspiration is graduating and getting a job,
Exactly.
right? And they break that down into the midterm, which is, you
Hmm.
know, what would be the midterm? Because the short term would be the semesters, right? The 12 weeks.
Um, I,
I don't, okay, no, no, no. Let's break it down.
I feel
Let's
like
break
we
it
said
down.
it.
No, no, okay, because I want to break it down piece by piece. So the long-term
Okay.
aspirations is to graduate and get a job. And I
Right.
guess the midterm would be like
You jumping.
networking,
Why you want
social.
midterm? Midterm is the smallest. So it's like,
No, short term is the smallest. It goes long, mid, short.
oh, you're okay.
I'm
Midterm. I'm thinking
reverse engineering.
school. School midterm is why I'm like, that's half of the quarter. Okay, ignore me. Please continue. I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm talking about the whole concept, the long term, midterm, and short term when it comes
Okay, that
to
makes more sense.
breaking down the vision. And I'm relating it to university, school.
Okay, there we go.
So the long term vision is graduating and getting a job.
Right.
The midterm would probably be like networking or creating community
Mm-hmm.
or, you know, figuring out what type of like working towards a lifestyle that you want to
Mm-hmm.
live, basically figuring out those things that you need to figure out, you know
Okay.
and short term would be like your classes, like your semesters, like reaching each semester, reaching each year, completing
Mm-hmm.
each year with the good grades, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So getting that grade at the end of the class is your 12 weeks.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Passing your classes, basically.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
I think I was getting a little bit confused with the midterm, and I
Me
kind
too.
of wanted to I want to make that more clear to make sure that I understand it correctly so I can make
Mhm.
sure that the people who are listening
Yeah.
understand it correctly. Because when I think of long-term aspiration, like we said, it would be like graduating, getting a job, and midterm. I think I explained it right. That's like your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your social. That's stuff that I did when I was in college. I don't know about you. I went through like a whole spiritual transformation where I
Yeah.
rejected my religion and studied different religions, Buddhism, Hinduism, all these things. And I guess that's like figuring out who you are. That's kind of like
Yeah.
the midterm goal, figuring out the lifestyle you want to live. A lot of people find their spouse in college. So that's the
Mhm.
midterm. That's the midterm goal. People start businesses, networking, like I said, like that. That's the midterm. And then the
Mhm.
short term is doing what you need to do to pass the class, like passing the classes, getting the
Yeah.
grades. So,
Making sure you're well rounded in life. Making sure. Yeah. Okay. I get you. Okay.
yes, yes. And another thing I want to mention with those 12-week, those short-term 12-week spurts,
Hmm.
not only do you have to have the 12-week goal, but you have to have tactics to
Mm.
help you achieve your 12-week goal. And that's where you break it down weekly and daily. That's definitely something that I've been working on in my personal life, breaking down my days, taking control of my days. So when I having what I need to do written down the day before, so when I
Yeah.
wake up the next morning, I already have a kind of a rundown, a few bullet points on what needs to be achieved like throughout
Hmm.
my day. So my day doesn't go by and I'm just like, nothing got done. Cause
Nothing's
that
productive.
yeah, because
That's
that
not a
does
fun
happen
feeling.
if you don't take control of it and figure out what
Yeah.
needs to be done before the day comes.
Yeah.
So,
I've had to like start taking like a planning day. I didn't do it this month and I can feel it. But like I've started taking off work because sometimes work is it gets in the way of you living your life. So I've had to start taking off work just to have like a planning day and plan out my month. And I think that's helpful. Just making sure you're staying on track of those short-term goals.
yes, don't let your work get in the way of the life you want to live.
Come on.
Okay. We're going to reach these goals no
Hmm.
matter what. So, I think that's all that I had to talk about. Um, we can wrap up what people get wrong about discipline.
Yeah.
Um, we talked about shifting from annualized thinking to periodization.
Hmm.
So breaking it down instead of just thinking long term, like when you think long term, you think you have all this time,
Yeah.
but you really don't. Break it down.
Break it down.
Break it down. Do
Make
what you need to
those
do.
make those goals specific.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself grace, but at the same time, stay on top of it. Find
Yes,
that
having that
balance.
balance.
Hmm.
Exactly. Have that balance. Be realistic. Like I
Hmm.
said, don't, if you're trying to get to the exercise every day, you don't have to lift 200 pounds at the gym every day. You can just go for a walk. Um, push yourself, but like I said, keep it realistic.
Hmm.
Get an accountability partner if you need to, and keep it time bound. Make sure you have some deadlines to make sure you
Yeah.
complete those goals.
Yeah. Agreed.
And so I hope everything that we shared will help you guys take control of your days and help you get closer to the goals that you're trying to achieve.
Mhm.
And we could talk to you guys all night, but we are getting tired and it's time for us to
Yeah.
go. So we'll
Exactly.
talk to you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.